Okay, the live stream should be starting up soon. Please give a moment. Everything's like Kick is going. Twitter is going. Okay, YouTube's going. Is going. Go ahead. Yep, and looks like Rumble's going. Looks like all that's going good. Let me just double check my other computer, see that the live streams are working fine over there as well. Like my other computer is working fine as well. So let's go and get started. I managed to actually finally get some replays. So I do got a good number of replays in reserve. Let's just go and start from the top. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 3 replay. Small on the bottom right side is the Blue Dutch with Fidel, I think. Spawn on top left side is the Red Aztecs with Black Horsemen. And boy, do I love the Aztecs. Let's see now. Let's take a look and see what natives on the map. We got the Berbers, which of course have access to the Berber Camel Rider, a light cavalry warrior, fast riding camel that terrifies horses. But it's a cavalry and artillery, so maybe a Dragoon variant. It says like cavalry, so it's probably a Dragoon variant. Berber Nomad, a villager that does better with natural resources and does better in groups, not very good at farms. And the Salty Camel. The Salty Camel, you can get out a salt mine that has 10,000 coin inside. So you can invest 200 wood into 10,000 coin. That should be much better alternative than the States. Though it also depends on what sort of technologies and cards you may bring on it in. And you got the Sufi. The Sufi allows you to get out some Quizzly Blash. I have no idea how to pronounce that, like most names in this game. A heavy Turkoman cavalry armed with a lance and bow, so it's a hybrid unit. So maybe act as a lancer and a light cavalry. Can't say the top of my head. It may be a unit that has it's a ranged unit that has good attack. We got the local doggo now being put down by the Dutch. You monster. And we got this eagle. Okay, it's an eagle scout. Nobody's obtained. There's some monkeys here. And now we do have the first card being brought in by the Dutch. He does, of course, can bring in villagers. Does have halberdiers, march significantly more quicker, but do less damage against infantry. So they're more close to the pikemen, I guess, the best way to put it. Don't really know the compare between the two. Let's see, less damage against infantry. So minus hand attack against infantry. Okay, there's more of a and increases speed by 20%. That's not feel that great. May need to look like that a little bit closer if he ever gets out on the halberdiers. Bank limit merchants, and so it doesn't get both of those ones. And now of course got town militia. We got wood, coin, pikemen, infantry attack, pikemen, halberdiers, and skirmishers attack increase. It also increases revolutionary sharpshooters. What? Okay. And got the bank. Let's see. And skirmish attack. Okay, so revolutionary sharpshooters are probably considered skirmishers. Sends a bank wagon. You know, let's see. This just increases the bank limit. Doesn't send you a bank. This one does send you a bank. Advanced arsenal, infant fencing school, religious freedoms. Let's go and just follow these guys around. And of course, we got the church upgrades. We got wood, skirmishers, infantry combat. rear tiers, cavalry combat, fort, refrigeration, and Dutch State Army. Mercenaries arrive, train, and move faster, but Dutch infantry and cavalry are now more expensive, so it's a double-edged sword. Enables Highlanders in barracks, oh, not bad. And Royal Horsemen in stables, and taverns. Highlanders, they are, I can't remember if they're skirmisher or musketeer variant. I think they are a musketeer variant. Got Tulip Speculation, which was actually has some sort of famous event, if I remember correctly, where tulips became so incredibly expensive because of speculation. And Factory. And now let's see what the Aztecs got on for cars. Let's see what native warrior he's eyeing, or not native warrior, I should say. You got the villagers, you got the Calamatic, make the next council member you research or are researching will age up twice as fast. Nice and simple. Villagers wood, infinite gold as well there. Warrior priest, coyote combat, and spearman, slinger, and 2 war huts. The villagers, more gold, coyote runners, jaguar infinite, knight hit points, knight attack, arrow knights, skull knights, ritual gladiators. Trips 1 Jaguar Prowler Knight for each 2 you've lost, up to maximum 16, so you get some rebate. And Aztec Mining, that's a good card, makes your villagers collect coin from mine 40% faster, and also makes it so they last 20% longer. It's pretty good. And especially with the salty camels available on this map, so that is a good card on this map. Of course, got the more infinite slingers, infinite jaguar knights, knight combat, and skull knights. I'm sort of surprised we don't see any of the coin mercenary groups where you also grant some powerful benefits. So I think the Aztec deck is a little bit lacking of focus, in my opinion. Now, I guess we'll find out soon enough if he is going to be successful. We do now have a proxy war hut here, going for a whole bunch of slingers. And we got a good number of Puma already on the field. We got the warrior scout, the eagle scout, as well as the explorer now advancing forward. I'm to put some aggression over here. It does have the warrior priest out on do the community plaza getting some EXP per second. We've got some hussars here. The Puma Spearmen will be very good versus them. Not so much the slingers. Puma Spearmen are, of course, a Spearman variant. They do have 41 siege attack, which is pretty good. I've got a good amount of damage coming on the housing here. The Dutch signed for a wave of militia. Wait, no, that's town militia. These villagers may want to perhaps get inside the town center. The town center is now seeing massive fire. Hussars are pushing over here. They can't do much versus these spearmen. They can do damage for the slingers, which are classified as a skirmisher type. They do bonus damage versus heavy. That's my best way to describe them. And now the hussars are signed for a counterattack. And it does go and get out the militia. I think that may have been both militia groups there. And now they'll get some good damage there. Takes out the war chief. Spearman now engaging melee. The militiamen do not do bonus damage versus heavy nor light. I don't think they're classified as heavy nor light either. Yep, they're just classified as infantry. And do got a good number of the slingers now being pulled on the field. It's what damage, but he's lacking in some military. Do of course have a stable back here. Most of all the spearmen have been cleaned up, so the hussars going to get some great damage here. He does go and clean up these forces. Most of the militia has been cleaned up, but I suppose they have diminished returns. These hussars do find the war hut there. Of course, it does have attack, 33 damage. Does bonus damage versus cavalry. So these hussars will probably not be successful there. Let's get some wood here. He definitely needs to repair up the town center. This town center has took a bit of a beat. We've got more Puma Spearmen, no additional villagers for the Aztecs at the moment. So the Dutch have more villagers, of course, has one bank on the field. One bank on the field, so it does have better income. Market going up, very nice. New Plaza Spill probably has that one warrior priest there. In my opinion, you may want to use your warrior priest to spawn up more warrior priests. Because if you get all 10 warrior priests on the field, that does make it so that's basically equivalent to 20 villagers in villager effect. And you can make now, with Indent Edition, your warrior priest very useful. Town Center has not been repaired on up. It probably does need a handful of resources for that. Militia men are going to go down very shortly. They have 1 health remaining, of course. And he doesn't... And now the war chief will be brought back up as well, so got a little extra force there. The Dutch did not go for any additional defense, so this is a big, big oversight by the Dutch. He has no defense, so his town center will go down. The town center does, of course, have bonus additional damage thanks to the card he selected. And so it does 135 damage per shot, which will be enough to one-shot all these infantry units. You have another bank wagon there, will not be intercepted. Also does a bit of health. The Pumas only have melee damage resist, so these units will be one-shotted by the town center, but the town center is almost down. Town center does go down. The Puma Spear could be focused down by the villagers. A couple of them do bash their blunderbusses there. And Hussars quickly go down, of course, because these, of course, are spearmen. Not all the villagers are firing at the moment, and some of these villagers are going down. Another wave of Hussars advance forward. These Puma spearmen are a bit wounded. They will be focused down, but the Hussars do take a bit of damage in return. More Puma spearmen advancing forward, and will not find the wounded one there. And that one does get cleaned on up. Let's see. Neither player is going for any of the Berber nomads at the moment. They, of course, are expensive for a villager, 150, even more expensive than the couriers, but I'm thinking they would collect natural resources even faster than the couriers. And looks like the Aztecs now bringing some villagers. The Dutch does not have towns anymore. This group of 5 villagers will put up to 22 villagers. The Dutch right now is 20, so with the 2 banks do provide more than 1 villager income. So they're about, what, 3, 4 villagers, depending what sort of tax you have. So the Dutch is fine in economy compared to his opponent. Probably need an eye for a bit more wood to get out, well, another town center. He does have a bit of population housing to work with. Going for skirmishers. Puma spearmen are classified as heavy, so they will receive bonus damage from the skirmishers. The slingers are a skirmisher variant themselves, so they'll be equal footing there. Of course, they do a lot less damage, but they do have maintained the same range. Actually, no, the skirmishers do have 20 range. These slingers only have 16 range. Hussars being brought on in, but of course, expensive unit to lose. Does go and need to focus on the Puma Spearmen. Maybe doing a bit of overkill. Each one does about 30 damage per shot for Puma Spearmen. So all 5 of them does about 150, so it's only a little bit of overkill. But even then, if he uses 4, that would be not enough damage to one-shot a Puma Spearman. So using all 5 to focus fire is actually just the right amount.
Yeah.
He does have an outpost here, so does have a shipment location. Does bring in a cord of wood. This will be enough wood for a town center. A hint, he probably should go for a town center again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dutch is bringing some shipments of spearmen. Very good. Advanced arsenal does not give him free arsenal, nor does the church one provide a church. Infantry attack could be useful, but only applies to melee infantry units and the skirmishers. Actually, no, that infantry attack is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
well, that had a phone call, and it was another spam call. I've been getting them a lot lately. We are getting some Coyote Runners deployed in the field. Coyote Runners are shock infantry. Shock infantry are basically an infantry variant of melee cavalry, heavy cav. They basically fill the same role, they have the same counters, so those spearmen that we saw earlier, right over here, will be useful versus these Coyote Runners. Skirmishers, however, will not do bonus damage versus shock. These spearmen need to be over here. They were placed over there for some odd reason, and now he will take up quite a bit of damage with the skirmishers. Skirmishers trying to hit the slingers. And looks like the pikemen will go and clean up with these Coyote Runners. Hussar singular engaging the slingers. The Coyote Runners have gone down. It does clean up all the Coyote Runners. We now have steel barrel traps being researched. And going out for more skirmishers and more hussars. Huh, that cord of wood he had. He did not go for a town center for it with it, didn't he?
Claire.
He has a couple idle villages there. I do believe he should eye for our town center. His opponent right now is maintaining village production now. Is up to 27. And I hear a lot of smashing the button there, so let's not have them selected. He actually has now a good number of villagers now idle. And right now he does have 20. He does have 4 banks, which is a good number. Which is, if I'm going to assume they reward 4 villagers each, that's basically 16 villagers there, so let's just say he's about 36 villagers. His opponent is at 28. The warrior priest is right there, apparently. So if he is not in the community plaza, that may have been a misclick. It'd probably be a good idea to send him the the community plaza, the fire pit, and make him dance there. The war hut may go down. He's going for more slingers. Let's see. In this age, he has access to the slingers, to the Puma Spearman, and the Coyote Runner. So he doesn't have anything. The Coyote Runner is the counter to the Skirmisher. His opponent has a good number of pikemen, which are heavy infantry, so the slingers are going to be good items as pikemen. The envoy is starting to see the fire there. Does pick up his explorer named Von Nisseroid, whatever that means. The Aztecs right now have quite a bit of gold stored up. He does pull off most of the villagers off the gold. Another reason why you probably should go for some of the mercenaries, because it does not only apply to a good number of units, but also some powerful buffs. The Coyote Runner gives him more ranged armor, if I remember correctly. The Slinger, of course, these are sorts and castaways. The Castaway H1 gives Slingers extra range. And I forget what the Puma Spearman. I think that was maybe speed, I can't remember. Now I got the Spearmen and the Puma Spearmen engaged in melee. Slingers being overrun by the Hussars, but the Hussars are mostly down. Got some handful of Coyote Runners facing forward, trying to hit those skirmishers. The Warrior Chief is hitting the skirmishers as well. Coyote Runners getting some good damage on the skirmishers. Pikemen trying to respond to them. Does have a shipment available. More Coyote Runners being brought on in. It looks like the Aztec force is starting to fall back. He does have a handful of Puma Spearmen to engage the Hussars. And the Coyotes are still hacking apart the skirmishers. I'm sort of curious. Let's compare the Puma Spearmen to the regular Spearmen, if there are any of them left. Doesn't appear to be any of them left at the moment.
Commando?
Yep, so we can't exactly compare the two. We do have some more Spearmen now on the build queue.
Commando?
Spearmen. There are, of course, 120 health, 5 hack armor, bit of speed, good siege attack, 9 damage, 2 attacks or 2 range, and good attack speed in comparison to the Puma Spearmen. Puma Spearmen, they have 125 health, which is, I think, slightly more. Hand attack is a little bit higher. They don't have the 2 range, which actually is important. And they have the same attack speed. Of course, costs 45. Versus the spearmen. There they are. Spearmen cost 40. So the Puma spears are more expensive. They have less range, but have more health and damage. So, pros and cons. Of course, pikemen only cost wood rather than gold. It's actually a bit of a negative for the Dutch, because they have, of course, banking systems. And with tulip speculation, those banks get an increase of 25% additional gold. They can basically worth about 5, maybe 6 villages worth of gold income.
Commando?
And looks like now he's putting some villagers there onto the wood collection, probably for more spearmen. You want to make sure he has a counter to the coyote runners, which those shock units, those protected skirmishers. Coyotes advance on forward. He does not have the card to give him the camouflage ability. Which, if he had that ability, explores around this region, so perhaps he could have snuck up on those skirmishers. Slingers, or of course his own skirmisher variant. He has to use. Honestly, at this point in time, the slingers are not going to be very useful. They're just sort of there. They're good versus the pikemen. Coyote is now engaging, trying to overrun these forces there. Of course, they are going to get hit significantly hard by the spearmen. They're overrunning the hussars and the skirmishers. Those coyotes are hitting the spearmen will go down. These coyotes are hitting these skirmishers quite well. This force over here does get cleaned on up. And now I've got the Coyote Spearmen and the Coyotes trying to hit the skirmishers. These Coyotes are getting picked off by the pikemen. He needs those slingers to hit those pikemen, but they're hitting the skirmishers. It looks like the Aztec force will lose his army there. Those Coyotes runners will be picked on off. Puma Spearmen not being picked on off as well. Slinger getting some more damage on the skirmisher. And the Dutch army has took quite a bit beating there, but of course the Aztec army has gone down. Dutch looks like it's really eyeing for wood now. He has enough for a town center, I would say go for one. He's currently at 18 villagers. His opponent is at 41. I think he took the economic advantage. He does go ahead and bring in the Jaguar Prowler Knights. You can get a handful of them in age 2. Oh, wait, no, he's already age 3 as well. So you can bring another 4 of them as well. Jaguar Prowler Knights you can get a batch of 4 of them in age 2. A Fortress Age unit in age 2. It does cost, what, 450 food, which is a decent price for them as well. Their cost 120 each. Times it by 4, which is 480, but only in food, so very convenient and affordable. More Coyote units deployed in field. Jaguar Prowler Knights, they are a heavy melee infantry unit. And they're good versus cavalry, good versus shock, and very good versus heavy infantry. But, so they would be good versus the pikemen, that's it. Of course, good versus the hussars as well. When it comes to the Aztec noble units, they tend to not follow the traditional paths. Their war hunt units have comparisons to other factions, but when it comes to the noble units, they're not really comparable. I think Jaguar Prowler Knights most likely could be best compared to halberdiers, but I don't think halberdiers... No, halberdiers do bonus damages versus heavy infantry, don't they? I can't remember off the top of my head, actually. They do also offer good health as not a whole lot of damage resistance though. Coyotes and Jaguar Knights advancing forward. The Jaguar Knights need to hit those spearmen. Coyotes are going to need to focus on the skirmishers. Jaguar Knights trying to pursue the spearmen now. Good split. More Coyotes runners pushing forward. The Jaguar Knights are ripping apart those spearmen. Coyotes are overrunning the skirmishers. Oh yeah, they also benefit from promotion now. I forgot about that in DE. And with that, the Jaguar Knights convince his opponents to lose, to back out of the game. Not to lose. More or less the same. This is Amgray saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Good game by both players. The Dutch player held on for quite some time, but I don't think he should have built a town center sooner, in my opinion. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another HPR's 2-4-3 replay. Spawn on the left side as the blue Swede with Madonna. On the right side as the red Chinese, we have Clark. Let's see now, let's take a look and see what natives on the map. Of course, got the Akin, which is actually usually a Hasua unit, isn't it? The Akin Kobia unit, which is, I think, is a good skirmisher unit. It's either musketeer or skirmisher unit. Its cost suggests a musketeer. Akin warrior firing an powerful old musket. And the other natives on the map, we do have the Yoruba, I think. They do have access to the Yoruba or Legionary, a very powerful but slow training heavy range javelin infantry. Attacks closer, target faster, carries shields, good infection protection, and against range attacks. Good against cavalry, so it sounds like a Dragoon variant. And we do, of course, have the Esso Rider. Quickly trained, fast-moving, powerful Lancer that slowly loses hit points. Acts faster as he loses hit points. So, it's like a Lancer, but also a Militia. Interesting. So a mix between a Lancer and Militia. That is definitely pretty unique. And there's the first shipment available, and let's see what deck he's gone for. Of course, got blueberries, some bit of settlers, cords of wood, more gold. We do got the infantry, we got the hand attack card, Team House of Burnett, all infantry, heavy infantry hit points increased team. 2 leather cannons, Eisenberg, what's it called? Engelberg Iron Works. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these names. Plus 100% gold from mines from the Torps. Times 4 Torps. 5 Jagalian allies. Fast Serbio-Croatian Lancer with dual armor and a powerful lance charge attack benefits promotions. Gold blackberries, which I wonder if it stacks with blueberries. It says each Torp spawns a berry bush containing 1,000 food. It says your Torps now spawn blueberry bushes instead of berry bushes, which also says increases more food. So one of those two combo together. Never really tested that out. Hopefully they do. Here, platoon fire. Killings inflict more damage with their ranged target, except for the heavy cav and shock infantry. And got hussars. We got light gun carriages. Leather cannons trained faster and upgrade to infantry guns. So you get a free upgrade. 2 falconets. Let's see, Snaplock Carolyn, and how to pronounce that unit. Increase range and line of sight. Contract Hessian Jaegers, deliver 10 Jaegers. Enables Jaegers hiring at military buildings. Copper mines, deliver 3 copper mines, which are 2,000 coin. Trample tactics, hussars, and Akapeltes, probably butchered that even more so. Attack more quickly whilst in trample mode stance and have more hit points. Heavy cannons, factory, and Sava Lifeguard. Carolyn's now resist range damage instead of melee damage. It also increases Carolyn and Grenadier hit points. And let's see what the Chinese are pulling on in actuality. Before we take a look at that, let's see what land wonder. Summer Palace. Automatic spawns bandit army, so get free bandit armies. And the cards, we got the one-time muster, export, got food, wood, gold, Chuko News, Quang Pikemen, the Riders, Diplomatic Intrigue, more wood, more gold, Arquebusts, Shangdo Swordsman, Territorial Army, Arquebus and Shangdo's attack point hit points increased by 50%. Repelling Volley, Shuko Nu, and Arquebus do extra damage versus light cavalry, shock, and heavy infantry. Meteor Hammers, Hand Mortars, Intervention, sends a shipment from your consulate from your chosen ally. Iron Manchu, Cavalry Archer, more Arquebus, more Swordsman, Meteor Hammers, Manchu Combat, Quang Pikeman, Chengdo, Keshek's Meteor Hammer, attack and hit points increased by 50%. And Flying Crows. So, got Infinite Flying Crows. We don't see like the army reforms get +8 resources or damage and health. And also we don't see Dynasty reforms, so he's not eyeing for the trash unit, he's eyeing for a higher quality army. Got trading posts here as well as the barracks deployed out by the Swedes. His torps are now advanced to the various silver mines. And we got now the monk now punching that village in the face. Gains some critical hits, doing 4 damage per critical hit, as opposed to regular 3 or 2 damage. Now I do have, looks like the Step Riders advance 4, they do bonus versus infantry, not the villagers. Need a Mongolian Scourge for that if I remember correctly. 1 villager does go down. Chinese players at 20 villagers. The Swedes are at 17. Of course, he does have a lot of torps. Good number of them turning idle. Carolins, they are a bit of a unique version of Musketeer. Rather than doing increased melee damage versus Cav and Shock, they only do bonus damage at range against Cavalry and Hand Shock, but not to range Shock. Let's find some more villagers, we'll pick them off. These separate riders will be very good versus the villagers, of course, but of course they won't do too well versus the Carolines. With Ben and Michael, they should be able to maintain the range. They should be able to get some great damage on in. Their range is 12, same as the regular musketeers. Does get a good volley on one of the step riders and does force him back. Hussar is now pulled out by the Swede, as well as more Carolines. And now we have another landmark going on up. It is going to be the Confucian Academy, which I believe is an arsenal. Confucian Academy ships Shuko Nus or Arquebus. When built, it will generate flying crows. Okay, so this is a heavy factory. Flying pikemen are engaging the Hussars. Will be focused on by the Carolines. Shuko Nus are an archaic archer variant, which they do bonus damage versus heavy infantry, such as the Carolines. Sentry's now pulling the field. He's relying heavily onto these green units at the moment. Does hit some French, and he's burning the contract to French, so he already got what he wanted from them. 1 shipment's available for the Chinese. Some of these villagers do get inside the town center. The Confucian Academy is actually being built. Huh. It's auto-building. I thought the Chinese landmarks don't get auto-builded unless they do get a slight auto-build capability and just use more villagers to build faster. It is being auto-built. Huh. That's something I did not know. I thought just they assumed they half the required villagers would be built. But it looks like it is currently auto-building. Also, there seems some fire there. With do now the British being selected. Does get another wave of irregulars not pulling the field. The sentries have been consumed. Now the irregulars. He's holding out, so he gets the British. And now he can go ahead and get the intervention when he gets to the next age. And maybe a same intervention. That's why he went to the British. That's why he deployed the irregulars here to stall out. And now we've got the intervention being pulled on the field, which will probably shift the redcoats, which will be useful versus the Hussars, as well as able to hit some of the Carolines. The villagers are going to get hit by these Hussars there. There's Arquebus from deploying out the Confucian Academy. Flying Crows, of course, is a heavy artillery variant. As I said, the village there. This one, Arquebus, is a scrum type, so they do less damage versus Hussars. Chupanos are in the same boat as well. Archaic archers are similar to skirmishers, just archaic. And now we've got the redcoats there and
Commandment.
bopped that Hussar from multiple directions. So there's redcoats there for front line, arquebuses in the back line. He has a good mixed army there. These guys, the Carolines are just course musketeer variant. They will receive bonus damage from discipline arquebuses. Very good. From skirmish around, he's not engaging the musketeers. He wants to keep his musketeers going to engage the Hussars, who do have a banner army available. He just needs to get a bit of population space. The British explorer does go down, or the Swedish explorer. Musketeers do get a good damage there onto some Hussars, so only 2 Hussars remain. If he gets out one more village, he can get out Banner Army, which has, what? Chuko News and Spearman. Chuko News will be used at moment. One villager does go down there. The village inside of here not currently doing anything. Got some separators over here, so you may want to pull them back. He really needs to get out another village right now. He just doesn't have enough wood. Arquebus do find a good fire there. And we got a shipment of wood being brought in, 1,000 wood. That will keep him satisfied for a bit of time. He doesn't have a consulate anymore, nor even a barracks. Barracks could be very handy at this moment to build out an army, but he does also need to spend that wood onto the villages. Let's get some damage there. There's a torp in the middle of the map. Chinese villages are deployed next to the giraffes. Wood shipment now being collected at town center. Very good. Consulate going back on up. He has a bit of export to work with, so he may get out some more redcoats. Let's see. What was it, like 350, then 700? If he brings a diplomatic intrigue, which he spends some extra in export on the relations, he could potentially get out a handful of redcoats and a musketeer. Not musketeer, falconet. Redcoats are musketeers. So that could be a possibility. But he is bringing a shipment of arquebus, which are a good counter unit to the Carolines. Going for heavy in arquebus makes sense. Swedes tend to go for heavy in the arquebus. Carolines, as well as in their unique cavalry and other cavalry variants. So, and Chengdu swordsmen are probably good items to go along with that. So the banner army related to that, I forget what it's called, was Territorial Army. It's probably a good item. Arquebus, we can receive some fire there. It does pull them back in time. Has a handful of redcoats. He's going for more hand armies, which is still a good item. And providing some Chuko News and Spearmen, both useful. Chuko News, of course, would, like I mentioned beforehand, would do bonus damage to the Carolines, and the Spearmen, of course, would be good versus these cavalry units, which actually does get a shipment of shock riders in. And there's a big wave of redcoats. He must got more. Step riders did a good job engaging. We got some of the meteor hammers going down. A little bit overkill some of the Carolines. It looks like most of the Hussars have gone down, or now the Shock Riders, which are not Lancer variant, looks like the Hussar variant. Shock Riders, that one's fully promoted, and now we've got a Flying Crow. This is what the Carolines do not want to see. Heavy artillery. He does go ahead and see the damage there. Howdy. Flying Crow does go down there. It does get a bit damage down to Carolines. We've got Hussars now advancing over here. Of course, he does not have a counter to them at the moment. We've got a shipment of meteor hammers being pulled on out. And you also got a Forbidden Army being pulled on as well. It's forbidden. Does get out some various mounted units. Disciplined Iron Flails and some meteor hammers. the Iron Flails are heavy cannon, does bonus damage to infantry and AoE effect. Now it has a great flank there to hit the Carolins. Arquebus being focused down. Carolins trying to back away from these various forces. And it looks like, wait, Meteor Hammers have a range of 4. Holy crap. Because I see the animation there, I was getting really confused, but they have a range of 4, so they actually able to hit these Carolins quite good. And a range of 4 makes it so that if you can get a couple stacks of units to slice through our entire front line. It's a little bit weird the animation because the flail don't reach that far. And of course, got more Flying Crow, more Hand Army. I'm surprised we don't see the card there to improve the production of free units. If you're going heavy on the free unit production, might as well have the card that improves the free unit production. We got now Torp here. The Chinese villager is trying to show that Torp who's boss by collecting more gold than it. China's providing a decent amount of gold and food. And of course, we've got some various research coming on in, as well as got territorial armies now being brought in. This is the one I recommend probably for the Summer Palace. This monk is at full health, so if he does revive it, he will get a full health explorer right there. We got a good number of torps on the field, which will provide the Swedes a lot of income. The Chinese player only has 26 villagers at the moment. The Swedes have 32. Not to mention, he has all these torps for extra income. Chinese player may have been skipping out some village production. Of course, can make it up with some free unit production. Of course, that is a bit marginal, honestly. It's nice, but nothing too significant. What's going on down. Let's see now. Looks like no more villagers for the Swedes at the moment. He's eyeing for the veteran Carolins as well as shipment of falconets. When Pikeman does got another torp there, sending out these small groups that hit multiple torps at once is probably good. Of course, you have to spot them first, know where they're at. And I've got a Flying Crow advancing forward. We got a Falcon, both Falconets here. They're very, very vulnerable. If he picks out the Falconets, it's going to be massive loss for the Swede. Does pick off one. The other one will escape onto there. More Carolins being pulled in the field. Flying Crow does 220 damage, or I believe that's less damage than the Heavy Cannon. Only 23 range. I think Flying Crows are a little bit weaker than Heavy Cannons. Of course, you can get them much earlier, and they may scale back as you age up. I'm not exactly sure how exactly they work. I just know that they are a siege weapon, and they throw Flying Crows. Infrastructure going down for the Swedes now. Chinese player has a good army. They're like the Rus. They have a bit more of a trash-style army, but in large numbers, they can be mostly better than the Rus, the Russians. That silver mine could go down. Is this explorer being down the ground like that, preventing additional torp to be placed out there? That could be the case. Trying to push this way forward. Ozar's getting some good damage there, not being properly engaged. Flying Crow does take out the Falconet. Big loss there for the Swede player. Trying to flank the Flying Crow now. Maintain good cover around the Flying Crow. Gets a good set of the Carolins. The Red Post may just want to be set to melee mode this time. Does lose the Flying Crow. sequel or the prequel. I just get the names mixed up so much. I keep on calling stuff Hack Armor, Pierce Armor from Age of Mythology, because I just grew up with that RTS the most. I get all the games mixed up sometimes with all the names. Well, all the siege weapons gone down. Quite a bit of the Swede army's gone down as well. Time for a wave of Hussars. Hussars will be useful, but of course a number of units can protect them from the cavalry. More Carolines being pulled in the field. Corpse on being torched down. And up here we do have, looks like the handful of Chinese cavalry now engaging the villagers. And they're doing some good work here. Meter flares don't do, none of them do less damage to these villagers like the main cavalry type. So the Swedes losing a good number of villagers. There is an announcement of the remake, of Age of Mythology, something retooled. So there is going to be a remake of it. That's going to kill off all those villagers there. Big loss to the Swedes. He's down to 20 villagers. The Chinese have 26. Looks like, speaking of which, Hussars find some Chinese villagers. Now it's 24. Well, this force is actually splitting up, maybe by accident. Okay, he does recast this group over here. He's trying to defend himself from those Hussars. Both sides took a bit of beating. The Swedish economy is still pretty good with all the torps, though some of them have ran out of gold next to them, so he's actually going to be running out of gold relatively soon. He's mining gold down here. He will provide some good amount of berry bushes. He may have actually got the spawning berries. Both of them are in the Fortress Age. Another flying crow here, which could be picked off by the Hussars. He's going to try. He tried to go for it, but was unsuccessful. Hussars still dancing around. Of course, they're only seeing Arquebus fire, which are, of course, a skirmisher variant. Oh, I hear the flying crow fired somewhere. Not sure where though. And also the cavalry is going to be pursuing the cavalry. Just being chased down south. He could try to push forward with his heavy infantry over here. No, it's mostly light infantry, not necessarily heavy, but you get the idea. We've got a good number of veteran Carolines right now. Let's see if we've got any cards. He has not gotten this research. Increasing his Carolines range by 3 could be useful. And these villagers do manage to escape out to the village. No, quite a bit of this research hasn't been researched either. Though then again, he hasn't done a lot of hand infantry. He's done a lot of hand cav though. Heavy infantry increased health points by 50%, would have been very useful for those Carolines since they are heavy infantry. These villagers now getting gunned down. Chinese players eyeing for some cavalry archers. The villager will be cracked open. They crack a hard exterior, and now eat the nice, chewy, soft insides. All those villagers do get gunned down. Chinese players down to 15 villagers, not been maintaining any additional villager production. Arquebus engagement belongs to Trooper News. Musketeers are advancing forward, the Redcoats. Flying Crows making some advance. Got the Explorer going down. Let's get a good hit there. We've now got the immediate hammers and iron players from advance the flank. Arquebus here some good numbers. The Flying Crows not being able to move forward. And now got the Carolines falling back. Got a handful of Jaegers. We'll see has gotten Jaegers upon the field, which are a skirmisher variant. They do cost 200 gold, so and he does allow them to build them now, so they're expensive, but they're good. 30 attack, 20 range, bonus versus heavy, which his opponent has blown out a handful. Whereas an Arquebus will only do 15 damage, 20 range, so in comparison, they are have to deal twice the damage, have twice the health, and they have twice the cost. I think and they have twice the population space. But actually, this one Arquebus are cheaper since they come in battered armies. Now, if he goes for too many of them, it will be vulnerable for more cavalry since they are good for light cavalry, not heavy cav. He now has 2 Flying Crows deployed on out, or for more territorial armies. Oh, there's another Swedish town center here may go down. Now the town's receiving quite a bit of fire. He does go ahead and fall back. He doesn't want to lose his town center. He could pass to wild some militiamen if it goes down, so he gets that small little buffer force. More cannons being pulled on the field. The Swedes are at 30 villagers. The Chinese says 17 is not really recovered his villager count. I got the militiamen now being pulled out to support his force. Let's get a shot there on the Jaegers, but now the Flying Crows will be overran. One Flying Crow does go down. That's far one shot before killing. You may get another shot off the Flying Crow. Nope, it does go down there. Ready close engaging. Arquebus engaging as well. So his front line's starting to go down, and I think the Chinese player backed out of the game. This is Andgray saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. And before I get started with the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Back. Love it when people behind the models walk away, the models just drops like that. Sorry, I probably misunderstood something. Probably something related to the game I just got done. Let's see now. Go ahead. Get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 3 replay. Spawn on bottom left side as the blue Portuguese of J Hong Cave 95, I think. Spawn on the top right side as the red Dutch who have Zuzu OP. We walk away to get a drink, your model just drops. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I should take a look at that. Well, either way, let's take a look at the natives on the map. Down here, we've got the Cheyenne settlement, which does have access to the Cheyenne Rider, which is a horseman with a spear, good against other cavalry. A bit more of a unique variant. Not Lancer, not a light cab. It's a heavy cab, good against other heavy cab. And down here, we've got the Apache Cavalry, ranged cavalry, good against cavalry. So we got a lot of anti-cavalry on the map. And this one's probably a Dragoon variant, to say the least. And of course, they got the Cheyenne and more Apache right here. Oh, Cheyenne. So there's 3 Cheyennes. What's up here? Apache. So there's 3 Apache, 3 Cheyenne. You can get a lot of horsies. Is there any unique upgrades for them that affect other military speed? Apache rating attacks enables your Apache warriors to inflict far more damage versus settlers. And villager speed and hit point. I'm sort of curious if anything affects a lot of native riders. Let's see, Shrine Warriors do additional damage versus enemy cav, so their cavalry can do more damage versus other cavalry. Able to mount your units cavalry more quickly, which trains them faster. So you get faster train time. Not bad. Either way, let's see what shipments that people are able to bring on in. The Portuguese first shipment is the gold. Oh, your town center now trickles all resources. In Portuguese, tend to go over a large number of town centers. And you'll of course have access to economic theory, which allows your villagers and fishing boats collect 10% faster. Not bad. Got wood, gold, crossbows, musketeers, gunpowder, infantry attack, musketeer and custer attack increase, and frontier defenses, ships to outpost wagons, infinite. Got gold, halberdiers, castadors, dragoons. Dragoon combat increases dragoons' health and damage by 20%. And 3 organ guns, fort, royal mint, and refrigeration. Covered wagon times 2 covered wagons. Does increase the build limit and increases the build limit by 2. The Portuguese tend to go for a large number of town centers, so we're probably going to see that. Skirmishers with low hit points. Yep. Gunpowder, infantry, combat, dragoons, more organ guns, heavy cannon, factory. Wait, we don't see the card to make your organ guns not a pack up and set up unit? Huh. That's usually a pretty standard card for most Portuguese players, but that is not the case this time. And for the Dutch, we go for a lot of banks. This sounds like it's going to be both sides' best suited for turtling, with mass town center versus not mass town center, mass banks. Does use crack shot there. That will be Portuguese who grabbed it. We got villagers. Increased bank limit and village merchant limit by 5. Bank limit and merchant limit by 5. Town militia, wood, gold, pikemen, infantry attack, team infantry hit points, bank wagon, advanced arsenal, church, wood, gold, skirmishers, infantry combat, hussars, routier, cavalry combat, and bosniaks. Got heavy cannon, tulip speculation, factory. Now I got H2 for the Dutch, who's immediately bringing some wood. We already got 1 bank wagon on the field. Not bank wagon, just bank. And the Portuguese should be eyeing the age up soon, which probably will go for the one that gives you a free covered wagon. And there's a free covered wagon. And right now, that trickle resources I mentioned beforehand provides 0.5 food, 0.24 wood, 0.24 gold, which make it so a little bit better than 1 villager across all resources. And you get that for each town center. And the Portuguese specialize in building a large number of town centers. So we may see a large number of town centers in the near future. Got a lot of bison being eaten. Bison is, of course, very delicious and actually pretty healthy compared to beef. And since both players designed to mass eco, if both players are designed for mass eco, I'm just going to fast forward because it's going to be a long game, isn't it? Bison slowly being herd this way, and now got the Portuguese player eyeing for the next age. The Exiled Prince, does that make it so he gets more... Isn't it like a faster age up? I always forget. Market going on up. More banks.
Qual é a sua
And
ordem?
there's another covered wagon there. So he's going for a third town center way down south, next to the Apaches. And both sides are ecoing up. Duco's got a barracks here. He's eyeing for Cosfors and some halberdiers. Or whatever he's eyeing for, just a bit of defense, or actually going on for a bit of aggression.
The scene?
Halberdiers, of course, are heavier than a spearman, much heavier. They do both different cavalry and shock, like spearmen. But their attack is, they get less multipliers, but much greater attack and much healthier. And also a little bit slower movement speed.
Preparado.
Is now eyeing for a bit of aggression. The Dutch is planting some routier, which is a light cavalry, which so and large number routier, so they will be good versus other cavalry. But of course, they will have a bit of trouble versus these guys. Cossaurs do both sandwiches like cavalry, such as the routier. So Cossaur is a good item. However, there's not a lot of Cossaurs here. They are a skirmisher variant, which I'm not exactly unique about them compared to other skirmishers. Their bonus stats seem the same. Damage seems a little bit low. Are they cheaper? Oh, they cost more in food than gold. Skirmishers are like 50, 65, if I remember correctly. This is more closer to a musketeer, which is usually 75, 25. So Cossadors are designed to be not very gold intensive, which actually makes them pretty accessible because you collect food quicker than gold and wood, and there's also in the very late game when all the bisons can consume, you can always get a good number of them pulled out by farms. After all, plantations collect up slower than farms as well, so they become very accessible like dragoons. I think that's their biggest gimmick. I don't think gimmick is a bad thing as well. Accessible units is always fun to have, because after all, I love spamming out Skull Knights, and if you really build into it, you can make them very spammable. You have some organ guns upon the field. These units do go in for the siege, ×2. The siege units do have 75 range damage resist, so they will do 50% less damage per shot. They do about 8 damage per bullet against the organ guns. Let's get some good damage there. Routier, of course, like all light cavalry, do less damage versus villagers, 50% less damage to villagers. So they basically are equally as effective versus villagers as they are versus organ guns. In other words, stay away from organ guns, or else they will harvest your organs. Do organ guns do less damage versus cavalry, like a lot of other siege units? I guess we'll have to find out soon enough when it gets deployed.
Ja, klaar.
He does keep the bison herd in the middle of the field. The organ guns do less damage versus cavalry, 50% less damage, but they still do 33 times 6, so imagine 33 times 3, so 99 damage versus cavalry with a bit of AoE, so that's still a good amount of damage. So with 2 of them there, he should be able to one-shot at least one routier, maybe get a bit of AoE effect to hit multiple of them. Explorer does go down there. Doesn't take out any of the banks just yet, just only a couple housing. Does put him top cap. Going for the Venom Hussar upgrade, which the Halberdiers will love to hit them. First bank will start to go on down now. Banks are pretty healthy. House have 1,200 health. Banks do have 3,500 health. And that is 280 XP. So that's going to give us one a lot of EXP. It currently has 3 town centers producing villagers, in which makes it so he versus 26, he has 36, but of course these banks are greater than around 4 villagers worth of income, so imagine additional 12 in one before additional one there, so just assume it's going to be, if you do calculations, assume it's 20, so he approximately had 47 villagers bonus versus 37. Of course, banks are expensive. They do cost 350, 350. And Nosebleed, not coin. Doing a good job taking out these banks. Red's pushing more mass army here. He does have some halberdiers to engage those hussars. And halberdiers are quite healthy. They can stand a bit of routier fire. Of course, they will have trouble versus like. Oh wait, no, that's a Culverin. Culverin got a double kill there. Oh. That's 2 times 1, so managed to get a lucky double kill there onto those organ guns. I thought it was a falconet, but 1 Culverin shot, 2 organ guns. Great shot there. That does force back the Portuguese. More halberdiers being employed on out. None of the natives are being convinced to join. In actuality, all the cavalry that can be deployed upon these settlements are doable in St. Francis cavalry, which should be good versus composition, so the Portuguese could eye for some native warriors. Especially the, let's see, not that one, the Apache ones. Apaches are a range one, which will match the routier in range combat. Soldier speed and hit points never hurt. Got multiple culverins now pulled on the field by the Dutch. He's concerned about those organ guns. His opponent deploys a good number of culverins. He's concerned about his opponent's culverins, so it's... If when the organ gun goes down, it's just culverin versus culverin, which both provide pitiful damage versus infantry and cavalry. We have actually a good shipment of falconets now pulled in by the Dutch, which actually does make those culverins very useful now. He does only have 30 villagers or merchants at the moment, which you should be able to go up to 50, yep. Now you got them queued up, and more routier as well. Both sides are advancing forward, and it looks like blue received quite a bit of damage there. The villagers took a nice bit of hits. After all, routier do less damage versus villagers, so they took a lot of gunfire there. Stable, tempting field does get interrupted. Of course, it does have a good number of town centers. You see Christ Convoy on some militia. And now, Blue's advancing forward. Halberdiers do have good siege damage, 36. Azores only have 13. That, okay, so both counts are firing away. Both counts are firing away, got 90 and 81, so one's at max damage, the other one's doing good damage. Got now those getting hit by for red. We got now the routier engaged. We also got some dragoons, which are of course accounted to the routier, and vice versa. Actually, no, they just only do bonus damage versus heavy cav, not versus light cav. Falconet received a bit of fire there. Red does pull back his army. He may want to just get. He should have left behind his artillery and just charged forward with whatever units he has. Culverin's now engaging. Falconet's setting on up. Culverin's getting culverins. 2 blue culverins do go down. Falconet's now firing away. 1 falconet does go down in return. Culverin does go down there. Routier is still getting up here. Culverin's firing away. They do bonus damage in the routier. Being a skirmisher variant. And all the falconets go down. Culverins, we take out all the culverins, so just red. It's just culverins just trying to get whatever damage they can. They do slight bonus damage to buildings, so it can still be somewhat useful there. Causal is still firing out. Got some shipments here for red. Now got away because ours people on the field. Of course, I realize as well these culverins are his, and this is his base. I got the sights mixed up again. And looks like Blue's army does get cleaned up there. Bring a big shipment of coin, going for more Castadors and more Culverins. Engage the Culverins. They've got to make sure those Culverins aren't shooting any Culverins. More barracks have been put up by the Portuguese now. He has a good amount of resources. And Castadors still be good for the route here. Hussars, of course, just generalist cavalry. Good versus everything. Or they don't excel versus anything. Their thing they excel at is speed. Got now another shipment there for the Portuguese. Look at gold income. He has expended all of his food. He could go for 4 dragon combat. Not that great. Single Castador is probably a good idea. Let's bring in the economic theory now. Portuguese up to 54 villagers. The Dutch is at 22. He lost a good number of villagers. He only has a 1 town center, but a good number of banks. So he should be able to fit out 1 more. Yep. Right now the Dutch is lacking food for another bank, and actually, I was going to say he needs food for villager production. Of course, the Dutch villagers only require gold instead. We got some militia pulled out by the Portuguese here. Culverins now firing away against the infantry, and the Culverins now engaging the cavalry. That's why to pack them up. Halberdiers now engaging the Hussars. Multiple Halberdiers now pulling the field. Do the Culverins still manage to live? The one that's really woody trying to push forward, trying to get some artillery. The Falconets. I don't think it was any Falconets. Oh, there they are. Falconets do. 1 does go down. Culverin does go down there. This Falconet goes down to this crack or the Culverin. We're here being picked up by the Castadors. Culverins engaging the Culverins. I think the Culverins will win. Now trying to slowly back on off, advance forward. Actually, wow, there's actually some veteran skirmishers. 20 damage, 20 range versus 18 damage, 20 range. So they're pretty similar. Castadors slightly have more damage. 144 health. Castadors have less health, more damage. As mentioned beforehand, there's 80, 35. Skirmishers are 50, 65. So I was correct about that. We do not have the Royal Mint now being put up by the Portuguese, as well as more villagers. And his force is around 45, 44. His opponent's military force is around 38. If my quick math is correct. Probably it's not. Oh, what the hell? Tards. Okay, Petards go ahead and bomb themselves against the banks. I'm not sure where those Petards came from. Where do those Petards come from? Now the route here advancing forward. The Explorer is firing away. Let's find some of the Dutch villagers there. They're being hacked apart by the Hussars. Route here now need to respond to this threat. The villager does go down. This villager will go down as well. 1 more hit. Yeah, the villager does go down as well. Where did those Petards come from? Did he deploy out some Petards with the artillery found here and walk them all the way around? I know the Portuguese can build Petards. I'm just wondering... Oh, yeah, he is actually building Petards. Like, I'm just sort of wondering, like, that's weird.
The scene?
They do 1,600 attack there. There's no shipment Petards, but he's actually mainly building Petards and suiciding them on banks. How cost effective is that? They cost 5,100. It'll take 3 of them to destroy a bank, so that's 450 resources there to kill off. I suppose it is cost effective. These things are 700. It's just a weird way to harass banks. I'm just wondering, when it comes to harassing banks, I don't think of Petards. Suppose they work. Militia not being pulled on the field. Some of these villages do go down. Portuguese aiming for some more guns. And does get a big wave of pikemen. And the Petards takes out another bank there. Does use, I think, all 5 on that bank. which makes, I suppose, in the long run cost effective, since it does deny a bit of gold income for time frame. It's just that Batars are not the unit I would expect you use to hit the banks. I would imagine a bunch of guys with torches will be useful.
Qual é a sua ordem?
Some of these villagers are going to get the gun down. He actually doesn't have any villagers in the build queue. He has plenty of food for them. He may want to get some more villagers, more petards in the build queue. And he is going for a fort. Not sure where he's going to put the fort. He could eye for a bit farther forward to provide some more field pressure. Maybe trying to secure up this gold coin. He does have backline coin here, untouched. Looks like he shift-clicked his villagers. This game is a little bit not great when it comes to shift-clicking units, since it prioritizes building one building at a time. When if you should generally just spam out left mouse button when you're trying to mass build units rather than shift-click. Unless if you have more than one build structure. If you have only one build structure, then go ahead and shift-click. Looks like the fort will get torched down before being built. Bit of a loss there. Root here only do 7 damage, so they're really bad at torch damage. And the fort does go down. And it looks like he does find some villagers over here. Pikemen just get some good damage there. They are heavy infantry, and these root here don't do any bonus damage versus them. Skirmishers, however, will do bonus damage versus them. Okay, he's going to pursue those villagers. Falconet does find a good hit there on the veteran Castadors. Does take out all those pikemen there. Does take out a good number of villagers. Working with the 55 villagers. The Dutch are back down to 22.
Yeah.
Over here we do have another outpost, and the villagers,
Yeah.
their siege damage is not high enough versus outposts. They do get ×3 damage versus resource enclosure. Interesting bonus damage. Guess that makes it so they're better against mills and plantations. Organ Gun finds a good volley there on these villagers. These villagers can just annihilate it. The Dutch just lost a good number of villagers. He's down to 14. That is massive. Granny still has a good number of banks on the field. Go along with that, a good number of villagers in return, as well as skirmishers. Organ's not firing away. Rutier advancing forward. Starts firing away. Does get one of the Organ Guns. Finds an okay volley there in the Rutier. Organ Guns, of course, not good versus Rutier. Quite a good idea to stop building the Organ Guns versus Rutiers. We have the hired Bosniks, which I think are a heavy cap Lancer variant, if I remember correctly, or a Hussar variant. It says a coin deposit over here, probably because the person has not got it discovered. This gold is being claimed. Of course, it is a gold deposit, which means it has higher storage of coin inside of it. Got a pair of Culverin being pulled on out, trying to engage that Culverin. Hustler is still a good item versus the Rutier. Good number have gone down. He does not focus on the Falconet when it was occupied. And it looks like Petard's coming forward as well. Getting stuck by villagers. And the Petard does go down. Does what the Bosniks. They are a Lancer variant. They do bonus damage versus infantry, but less damage versus heavy, so mostly meant to get bonus damage versus light infantry. Why don't just make it say they get bonus damage versus light infantry? Because doesn't that just cancel out? They increase it by 50% and then reduce it by 33%. It would make it 100%. I suppose it also makes it so it does get bonus damage for shock, which is of course a little bit different. Barracks now trying to pull out more Cazadors. One of these barracks may go down. The Portuguese player needs some more gold. This finds good damage there onto one of the skirmishers. Now I got these Bosniaks advancing forward, gains good hits on the villagers. Halberdiers trying to engage them now. Oh, was that arsenal, I guess, not a factory. They will go in on up, so the Portuguese player has put out an arsenal somewhere. He actually has a handful of states back here as well. There's actually untouched gold or coin mine there, so blue could potentially grab. Otherwise going for estates right now. Cazadors do find a good volley there. Barracks now sees the fire once again. It's now going for a pair of dragoons. Overrun's firing some shots there on the routiers. Halberdiers making their advance, gets good damage there. We'll be able to get some. Take out these Bosniaks. Overrun's trying to advance forward with the Falconet. It looks like the Halberdiers do go down. Falconet does go down as well. Got some dragoons point field. Then you hit those Bosniaks. Some of them are pretty netted up. Couple Hussars in the mix as well. Hussars trying to get overran. More Hussars been pulling on field. And the Volvans will control some fire there. In actuality, those Bosniaks, oh, they actually have 600 health. That's quite a bit. But it looks like the Portuguese does go ahead and get overran. He went for Hussars, but realizes it's a bad idea because he's going to get overran. The routiers will do bonus damage to them. And the Dutch is starting to fold back.
Preparada.
We got a big wave of pikemen. And a pair of organ guns. We actually down got some more Hussars being pushed on forward. We'll run straight into this pikeman. One will get picked off there. We do have a shipment available for the Portuguese. Nothing here strikes me as something really useful. The outposts, maybe? He could try and save it up for his next age. He's already got out most of the shipments for this age. All the usable shipments. Dutch doesn't have to increase bank limits, but it does have some more shipments you can bring on in as well. Counselor may go down, may have some militia you can bring on out. Some more Cazadors being put on field, eyeing for another estate. In which he is still not gotten the silver mine there. There's still a good amount of coin he could claim. And the town center does not get destroyed.
Commando?
All the banks have been built out. The Dutch are still on 22 villagers, 23 now. Portuguese has not been building any additional villagers lately. Doesn't really have the food for it at the moment. I was going to withdraw into the outpost. None of these villagers do go down. Blue has a small force up here, and it's actually a lone halberdier forgotten about. Does go get a free halberdiers for army. Going for some mining techs. And a handful of Dutch halberdiers now pulling the fields. The Cazadors will take them out quite quickly since they are heavy infantry. Villagers and militia taking quite a bit of damage right there. It does withdraw in town center in time. Not really. A good number of them have gone down. More Dragoons being pulled on the field, which will do bonus save versus those Hussars. And of course the boss next, with a couple remain, fully promoted. Increases hit points and damage by 15%. Nothing too significant, but nice to have. Output's going up, starting to plant plus gold. There's some beaver pelts worth 35 coin there. Which, if you ever wonder if that's worth it or not, at this point in time, they actually try to pick it up. You just Q move it, pick it up, stacks it back on the nearby coin mine, and that will basically provide you 35 seconds worth of gold.
See?
We've got an army of 48 here versus the Reds' army of 52. So these boats going down. The troll drops from fire for the Portuguese. Pikemen, Halberdiers now engaged in melee. The Hussars going down from both sides. Blues Explorer does go down. Hussars shows some fire from the Dragoons. Looks like the Dragons will go down to try to get the Orc guns. They do find a good volley there onto the Skirmishers. They just might get those Orc guns. But more Skirmishers facing forward. Still got Orc gun lives. The Orc gun we use versus them. Root here being finished off. Single Hussar deployed up by the Portuguese there, which is a good counter unit. And now got the Cosnors engaged in eyeing for a melee attack. Good damage there onto the skirmishers on retreat. He may just want to get these guys pursued back to base. Portuguese players at, or the Dutch is at 27 villagers. His opponent's at 52. Got a wave of musketeers been pulling in. He decided to put a shipment there on those musketeers. Not a great shipment, but at least it's a shipment. Now I've got the church research coming on in. I forget what the church research does for the Portuguese. We also have the saloon here. I wonder if we can deploy out. Don't see the church on the field. I can't exactly take a look at the research. Whatever pops up, I have to take a look at it. I think one of them's like coffee beans? Was it the Portuguese church improvement?
Commando?
More Hussars, more skirmishers being put on the field.
Yeah.
The Portuguese side advancing forward. We got a decent force here. Doing good. How's your day going? Also, let's get a bit of damage there. Does take out one of the villagers. Dragoons still moving around. Hussars trying to engage the skirmishers. We got a good amount of root here to engage with Hussars. One Hussar does go down. Does take out one of the skirmishers. Dragoon goes down. There goes more of the skirmishers. Now got a big conflict advancing. Wargun has a lot of juicy targets, a lot of stacked up targets here. Hussars engaging Hussars. Equal footing. And also, Organ Gun will get one more volley off before going down. More Hussars here. We've got the Musketeers shipment brought on in, getting some melee attacks in. Oh, that's good. That's good. It looks like Blue's army does get decimated. He's aiming for more Cossadors. Those stuff deal with the Hussars. More skirmishers, more Hussars. And it looks like he does not have enough military force field. He has 50 population, or 50 villagers, only 75 population, a good number of these are the units on the build queue. So we've got a sizable army here. He has no proper defense mode. Does go and ring the town bell there. One villager does go down. Red backs on off. Could have perhaps push a little bit more. You could perhaps try to focus on the outposts and crack it open, get the nice soft villagers on the inside. Yes, I am. It's a mix of like I do the streams and then I segment each one single replay onto the YouTube channel. So you sort of like a mix of like a highlight stream clips, but more like it's focused more for like YouTube, as well as does get posted to Rumble, but it's basically both at once sort of thing. This sounds like it's not fully repaired at the moment. You got a bit of a skylight there. Could get torch down. Huzzar's torch damage is 27, decent amount. Routier's torch damage is 8, pathetically bad amount. But of course, enough torches into a building, it will go and get destroyed, even if it's made out of stone. Well, just the walls made out of stone, not the flooring. You can see the flooring there is wood. Towns that are soon to be destroyed. Mill's getting hit as well. Were there any villagers in this area? Or I guess not. So losing this infrastructure here is not a big problem, though he does need the housing. It does give his opponent a bit of EXP to work with. It's a good amount of resources there for more skirmishers, so you could pass to pull out another 20-ish skirmishers. At least 10, not 20. Log room, great coat. Everybody needs a great coat. Sort of like top 5 pizza toppings. Pepperoni, cheese, extra sauce. I just basically eat just pepperoni pizzas. I don't mind other meats. Yeah. My late grandmother liked onions, so onions not necessarily half bad on the pizza, but that's about it. Pineapple people should be shot.
Hello?
Mostly any meats will work fine with me. Those also pretty good. Not necessarily topping if you do or don't consider it. Barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce or marinara sauce. But be careful, those pizzas stay hot for a very long time. And the calorie content's pretty high. Skirmishers advancing on 4, got a good amount of cavalry here as well. You have a decent amount of Cosdors here and Dragoons. For a nice range force, there's a good, got a good number of pikemen. He does have decent defense force here. A force of 59 versus a force of 68. Our video game sports. Mostly, I don't watch any sports. I should go out and at least go for walks a bit more, but usually I get about 12,000 steps a day at work. But I don't go out and play sports of any sort. So I wouldn't mind going to the rifle range a bit more. Shooting's a sport. I'm IT support. Where mostly right now in a form of network engineering. So right now I've been pulling a lot of Cat 6A Ethernet cable in through walls and old buildings. Terminating, managing switches, all that sort. So more, I say IT support, but it's more right now close to the network engineering side. Bank has employed in the field, so he may have got the shipments. Yeah, he has gotten the shipments there, increases bank limits, or no, he has not. That was max out 5. Ah, the church improvement there increased the bank. That's what one of them was. Now it's going for the Red Lancers, which I think some sort of mercenary unit.
Klar.
Oh, thank you. And get some good sleep.
Yeah?
Sleep is important.
Commando?
Important, but I can't speak. After all, if you don't get enough sleep, you become old, grumpy man.
Yeah?
Like me in the mornings. So the Red Lancers, was that a mercenary unit? Yes, it is a mercenary unit. It is a cavalry mercenary from the Balkans. It's heavy cav, Lancer variant, but damage bonuses are not very extreme. But the damage attack's 64. That's actually really high. 673 health. That's a good amount of health. Oh, thank you, and enjoy.
Ja?
Commando?
Skirmishers,
Klaar.
Routier down here. He may have forgotten about them.
Klaar.
He has a force of 93 or 83 right there with another
Commando.
17 here. So he will reach the command limit per group you highlight of 95. So he has a massive force in the field. And over here, both sides just maxing out their forces. 82. So right now the Dutch has more military force. Falconets do get hit by the dragons a little bit. Falconets rotating around. One Falconet just go down. Fires a shot there. Only get one good hit on the Cazadors. These Cazadors just being moved forward there. So lose quite a bit of health. Lost of them. Pikemen just need to a move forward there. There's a lot of cavalry in front of them. They need a hit. Got some crossbows in the background as well. Probably brought in from a shipment. Routiers. Ugh. The Portuguese player did not control his army well at all. His army got disintegrated with that more move order. And that's probably gonna be game. But right now he's not Red's not really pushing forward as hard as he could. He knows he took a really good engagement there and has still a sizable force in the field. He should be much more aggressive. Oh wait. We got Azores now engaging. Does get out a number of villagers there. Oh, that's why he pulled back all those units. These forces could push forward. The knows he took out his opponent's entire force there. Azores pursuing these forces. And now I do have another shipment available. Maybe some pikemen or increased bank limit. Get out some more banks.
Ik voel me nu wat sterker, ja?
He does force back those units. The Dutch has 42 villagers most. He's been doing a good job producing villagers. Still in one town center. The Portuguese player has not been maintaining village production, which has been a big oversight in my opinion. And I just think it's weird how a lot of times in these games, in Age of Empires 3, people maintain their villager production. In other Age of Empires games, if you don't maintain village production, you just straight up lose. This game doesn't actually seem to be the case. He's going to try to stop these Patars, trying to take out this bank. 1, 2, 3. And that was take out the bank there. The last Patar will explode, doing no damage. There's some more Dragoons and various other infantry units down here that the Portuguese players have forgotten about, which could be useful. Right now, the Portuguese has an army of 42. Did a good job of reproducing more units. Got another pair of outpost wagons. Another backline defense could be useful. This barracks may go down. He needs production still. Does lose the barracks. He can try to spam out more customers than the other two. But they just got spawning fields, so can't spam out as much. Dragons now engaged. Trying to stop the Hussars from here. Would get hit by the Cazadors. Looks like the Dutch Hussars have gone down. Barn 1. Hussars can of course do bonus damage to the Routier. Falconets. One does go down there, so one remains. It looks like still one Hussar remains. The Dragons could try to push him down, but does go down to the Skirm Cazadors. And now the Cazadors seeing a bit of damage there. I can hear the sound bug started on up, where the sound effects are not fully playing. Cazadors seeing a bit of damage there. Only a handful of Cazadors remain. We've still got the 3 Falconets here. The Falconets can break these Cazadors. Trying to go for a big wave of crossbows. Crossbows in point of field. They will do okay versus the Routier. Of course, they get outclassed by many things. We got a pair of Culverins on point of field. Does pick off one of the Falconets. Routier need to push him forward, hit those Falconets. falconet, though, do some of the culverins. The other one does get picked off by the last falconet. More hussars on the field queue, got more hussars as well. That Belgian will go down. Also, just got spawning out. Hussars need to start hitting those skirmishers. They do take out that falconet first, which is good. These customers are still engaging these routiers. Looks like these routiers are getting ripped apart by the Cossadors. Now I got Hussars hitting those Cossadors. A single Hussar still engaging skirmishers, drawing a lot of fire there. Last routier being picked on up. Still got the two outposts here, providing some good fire support, and does force back the red once again. And Blue does manage to barely hang on. He will go and take out time to finish off these Cossadors. Got another wave of pikemen. But skirmishers will do bonus damage versus them. And the game has ended. I believe the Portuguese player back to the game based on the fact that how much he's lost in his opponent has a quite sizable standing army. By the way, this is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And I do hear that sound bug, so I'm going to first delete this replay and then back out the game and relaunch it. Because that sound bug is, of course, a bit of a problem. I want to maintain sound in my games, and not hear no sound. And there we go. It should be launching up. While that's going, I need to rush again. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Oh, what's this map? Greetings everyone, Andgrade here of another Age of Empires 3 replays. One on the top left side as the blue Chinese, we have one. On the bottom right side as the red US of A, we have Stevep, S-T-E-V-E-P. If it's all capitalized, you're supposed to spell it out, I guess, generally. Maybe not, I have no idea. Well, either way, let's see what natives on the map. We do have the House of Witten. House of Witten is... So you get some Trabants, infantry of high hit points and protect nearby units by absorbing some damage inflicted, so we got a bit of a tank. And Saxon Couriers, so it looks like we are in the land of the Germans. We have heavy Saxon hand cav with high hit points and area damage. It's like the French Couriers, but just German. Which means German engineering, right? And of course we have here the House of Habsburg. So maybe this is in between Germany and Denmark? That's where Habsburg, right? No. That's, I'm thinking, Holstein. I'm not very good with these locations. Let's see, mounted infantry, ranged heavy cav, which is actually unique Very, very unique variation of most cavalry, because the range, they're usually light cav. That can be dismounted to become a skirmisher, which sounds like they're also going to be heavy skirmisher? Good for infantry, benefits promotion, so if anybody builds them out, we'll probably take a better look. In line infantry, tactical Austrian musketeer, which gains benefits from using stance as well as promotions. So we're not in, so we're somewhere between Germany and Austria. Got it. And this is what, still the House of Witten, yep, so still the same there. Saxony, Poland, got it. Isn't Saxony in Germany, or is it more in Poland, so it's like an overlap area nowadays?
是的，
When it comes to these lands, I'm not very good when it comes to the old European
准备就绪。
royalty and monarchs. After all, I'm American.
是的，
But the best form of rule is through freedom. You have now Julius A. Penn. What sort of names? There's gotta be a name for something for
准
that.
备好了，走
Over here, we do have
请下
a
命
foreign
令。
name. Saxony is Germany, but the time period that is represented, the Prince of Saxony were also kings of Poland. Holy Roman Empire, yeah. Holy Roman Empire. You just have to say Holy Roman Empire as like, it's not even technically even a country or nation or empire. It's a loose confederation of states. And when I say loose, I mean non-existent. I think Prussia is, yeah. Either way. And since we do now have some cards selected on in, let's see what each player has selected for cards. For the Chinese, we do have the Belgian Muster, Wood, Gold, Chuko News, Standard Army hit points, increasing hit points of Chuko News and Step Riders. Neither Holy, nor Roman, nor an Empire. Yes. I think the Austrian-Hungarian Empire had more overseas territory than it, and they literally had a single street in China. Quang Pikemen, Step Riders, Mongolian Scourge, and the Diplomatic Intrigue. As well as Gold, Arquebus, Territorial Armory increases Arquebus and Chengdo attack and hit points. Repelling Volley, Chuko News, and Arquebus increase attack. Keshik's double-faced armor, Iron Flails, Keshik meteor hammers, armor, and hit points increase. Armor increased by 5%, range 5%. Being Army, ships 8 Step Riders, 8 Keshiks, upgrade them both units, so you also get your discipline upgrades. So if you hold off the upgrades, you get those for free, but forgetting that. Meteor Hammers, Hand Mortars, and Acupuncture. All units train faster. Free units spawn slightly faster. So if you want to go for free units, you get more free units. Pikemen, Old Dynasty Reformed, making your trash units much more healthy and damaging. It costs 25% more, but it's overall still a good trade-off. 50% more health and damage for 25% increased cost. Pretty good trade, plus it does directly apply to your current outstanding units. Manchu Chang Combat, Wang Pikemen, Changdo, Keshik's Meteor Arms, and attack and hit points increased by 50%. Flying Crows and Western Reforms, 8 damage and health points. For the US of A, let's see what cards we have. Of course, looks like we do have the Virginia, now admitted Virginia colony. Let's see, Chinese immigrants, which does allow him to delivers 1 trading post rickshaw and enables the levy to be used at trading posts and allows and to recruit more trading post rickshaws for free. Trading hit points increased as well, so it's a pretty good card. Quite a bit there as well. Got food. Wood, gold, a lot of resource crates there. No! Cards right there. We got regulars, state militia, Virginia, General Assembly, ships 1 state capital wagon, makes the upgrades research state capital wagon capital for free, excluding spies and blockades. Seminole Scouts, ships 12, Seminole Shark-Tooth Bone can go to stealth, so we got a, can't use this card twice, so we got stealthy archers. And the Legion. Is that related to Robert E. Lee? Probably referencing the Mexican secession? Either way, it does give him 6 carbine cavalry. Russian-American company supplies 2 blockhouse wagons to enable villagers to gather food from huntables faster. It looks like crushing both of these locals. It's a wave of Trabants. Trabants are classified as a heavy infantry. They do bonus damage against cavalry and melee as well. And this one's going to get hit as well. So let's get US players eyeing for some natives. Some native Germans and Austrians. Would United States Army increase the attack and hit points of heavy infantry? Not bad. Heavy infantry and Minutemen and the general. 54th Massachusetts Volunteer. Got a big wave of cards coming on in. Let's see, Continental Rangers increase the attack and hit points range infantry armed. Wow, how to attack and hit points of ranged infantry armed with rifles. So state militia, sharpshooters, owl hoots, an outlaw unit, Jaegers increase. So anything that carries a rifle, anything gunpowder range basically, will get a damage bonus. But unlike grenadiers, which also is gunpowder, buffalo soldiers, carbine attack and armor hit points increase. Increased damage by 15% and 10% in range armor. Not bad.
Orders?
Got the state capital wagon. Let's see, Georgia Hussars. Upgrade your Hussars to veteran status and reduces their cost. Not cheap for Hussars, not bad.
轮回之气，
Rolling artillery ships fewer Gatling guns after each use, so it resets after the third. So you get infinite Gatling guns, of course, in different numbers. Ship a 4 wagon, increases the build limit. Very critical since the US and Mexicans deploy out a large number of forts, as their little unique region variation. Postgalaxy's Legion ships a number of powerful Uhlans, enables them to be trained at forts. Delivers 12 Prussian Uhlans, which is perfect for this map, right? And enables them to be guard Uhlans immediately. And once we've done this fight, we're talking to look at the research cards. Separators are receiving some damage there from the Trabants. Crossbows getting some damage here. They do bonus damage to heavy infantry, which these guys are classified. They have 20% siege armor, so they resist falconet fire and other siege weapons. Chukwunodu gets stabbed there. Getting some great damage there onto these step riders. And now got some veteran sharpshooters. Sharpshooters are, of course, a skirmisher variant.
What is your command?
US factions just have a bit more extremes. Their damage multipliers are greater in both good and bad in general. They offer sharpshooters have 22 range, which is longer than the 20 range of regular skirmishers. Gains extra range per upgrade. Jeez, that's the prime example of just snipers in this game. Other than the Aztec archer knights.
I'm ready.
Orders?
Yes.
And let's see, he's of course went Virginia, which allows him to get upon arrival. This card grants 2 shipments to spend, so you get 2 shipments for 1. Also delivers 1 giant grenadier. That is actually one of the native researches where you get 1 giant grenadier per shipment. So he now has a free set of giant grenadiers coming in. Very nice. Kupler Minutemen. All existing town centers spawn 6 Minutemen. Minutemen retain their hit points 75% longer. Kentucky Coalfields. Ship 2 prospect wagons that opens to coal mines. Which, gather 2 times faster than other mines. I wonder what the capacity is. The capacity is probably pretty small. And Kentucky Hunters. Ships 5 Owl Hoots, which are the outlaws. And for each shipment you have sent so far this game, you should receive additional sharpshooter. So at this point in time, he'll get 5 Owl Hoots, which is a renamed Renegado, and as well as now 9 sharpshooters, and of course 10 sharpshooters. Make that 11 sharpshooters and 1 giant grenadier. So it looks like the US players eyeing for a large amount of native shipment and bring in, of course, the various off-map abilities or abilities from these native Austrians. You're now the fort being built by the general. After all, why have villagers built forts? Just have the general build a fort. Or that could have been from Fort Wagon.
What
It looks as may have been from Fort Wagon. There's general. So now I've got a fort there. Training post has seen a bit of fire. If he had torches.
I'm ready.
Regular, it's like musketeer variant, isn't it? Heavy range infantry with greater range than other musketeers armed with bayonet. Yeah, US is all about range combat. After all, they know the art of the gun. I'm sort of disappointed as well. The carbine cavalry don't actually have a higher rate of fire with lower damage, being a actual lever actions they're supposed to be carrying. I think that's a bit of a shame. They should have like a lower damage, higher rate of fire weapon. After all, the cartridge firing technically has a smaller amount of power than the old muskets. It has smaller calibers.
What is your
Regulars now pushing forward. Of course, got a number of arquebusiers. They are, of course, the Chinese skirmisher, the crossbow, which is, of course, the crossbow variant. This is Giant Grenadier, I think so. It is a Obiscum. Do now got a shipment of Gatling guns now pulled on in. Ready to bring some more DACA. Let's see, Giant Grenadier. Let's see, heavy range infantry aren't fixed damage in area, so it's not an Obiscum variant. Just does high damage. 12 range, not a whole lot. Does have good melee armor and good health. Got the Sun Palace here, which spawns banner armies. Force and Tower does generate resources there. It looks like the Chinese player with St. Tension is already in Industrial Age. Does, of course, get free Flying Crows, free resources, and free bannered armies. Hunters are now seeing massive amounts of fire. Swordsmen advancing on forward. Gatling on guns trying to hit the town center. They do less damage to structures, so not great damage to structures. Does take out that army there. He does have a good amount of cavalry here. Oh, so they are a Grenadier variant. But, oh, yeah, I can see now. I can see the grenade launcher actually firing away. It didn't take a close enough look. To me, at first I thought they were a Obiscum variant. We got a massive shipment there of arquebusiers now pulled on a field. Should be a good versus the regulars. Oh, but they got annihilated by the Gatling guns. Ketchik's pushing forward. They're of course a Dragoon variant. The arquebusiers are just getting annihilated by the Gatling guns. I would say they're like organ guns, but organ guns are very different from Gatling guns. Gatling guns are their own model. And looks like the Chinese player does back the game. Excuse me. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Ugh. Will I have enough time for more replay tonight? Oops, that is a folder. Wait, I didn't have anything selected and delete that. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons now. I hear a lot of bells, and not whistles. Greetings everyone, and Grade here. I have another Age of Empires 3 replay. So on the top right side, as the blue-blooded Americans, we have Niz Kachel. And so on the bottom left side, as the Redcoats, we have the pen is Royal Blue. He is in red, and he's British. And his unique unit, of course, a unique musketeer is the Redcoat, so I think is an adequate description for them. Of course, you could claim up this little bit of wood there. Either way, let's take a look, see what natives on the map they can recruit. We got the House of Oldenburg, which is, I think, a Swedish variant. Got, of course, access to the Royal Hunters, which is a is a skirmisher that can also be used to collect up food, so it is potentially a good one to eye from early on. Yeah, there's blueberries in the field, definitely Sweden. And of course, we down here, of course, still got the House of Oldenburg as well, so both sides have access to an easy source of native Swedes, along with some royal hunters. Longbow spam is just as viable in 3 as it is 4, as well as 2. You can't discount the longbowmen. They only get outranged by the Aztec Arrow Knights. No true Scots would have dropped their bagpipes here, but they're still worth 50 XP and 50 wood. What on earth is that supposed to be referenced? I know... Is it no true Scotsman fallacy reference? Either way, that is apparently a treasure that people can claim, like the armor of Acanthos. And that's a treasure. It's not a collectible resource. A lucky coin. So in the entire gold pile, there's one lucky coin. Got it. Either way, we do have decks now selected here, so let's see what cards they can bring on in. For the US of A, we do have the French Migrants, which does give them improve your settlers in combat as little number of powerful Quarter de Bleus, so get 3 more better villagers as well as more hit points. And able to fight themselves. After all, every American has a gun. There's more guns here in the United States than people. Spanish Immigrants, just 1 outpost wagon. Spanish immigration boosts EXP income, allowing to earn shipments considerably faster upon reaching the commerce age. The livability can also be used to call in a group of powerful pikemen. Pikemen do not lose hit points. I wonder how much that cost. And also adds a 1.7 trickle rate. Not bad. The Boots of Kicking Everything is also a relic in Age of Mythology. Does seem the same thing as both games. Fast movement speed. Nice. I love all the relics, references that relics had in those games, as well as a lot of references in this game. We of course got wood, gold, state militia, long rifles, increase the range of state militia and Minutemen, enable sharpshooters to be trained age early. Springfield Armory ships 1 arsenal wagon, enables the advanced arsenal improvements. All arsenal improvements become free, but take long to research. Interesting. So a bit of Delhi Sultanate, eh? Of age 4. All intended economics, market technologies are free, and the refunds of costs that are already researched. Improve market buy rates. So whether go that for early or late, that will be useful. George Washington doesn't it spawn like a giant bust of George Washington, and he just goes around bopping stuff. And Virginia State General Assembly. It's just 1 state capital wagon, makes your next upgrade research free. Makes the next upgrade research of the state of capital free, excluding spies and blockades. So you get Imperial Age technologies early and for free, at least for 1 of them. And let's see now, we've got Russian American Company. Russian American Company supplies 2 blockhouse wagons, enable your villagers to gather food from huntables faster. Plus 30% from huntables actually is pretty good, but also doesn't exclude the large number of berries in this map. Let's see, United States Army, increased attack and hit points of heavy infantry, Minutemen, and the General of the United States. Sharpshooters, Continental Rangers, increase the attack and hit point range of infantry, armed with rifles, state militia, sharpshooters, Howhoots, Jaegers, Cree, Trackers, etc. And US State Marines, Minutemen's upgraded to US Marines. Marines no longer lose hit points and inflict more damage against buildings, ships, and artillery. Huh, not bad. Let's see, Minutemen, kill bounty. Okay, just changed a lot of stuff to the kill bounty as well. Buffalo Soldiers. Carbine attack and armor increase. The card may be sent in once. Rolling artillery. Ships fewer Gatling guns, so you get 3-2-1, 3-2-1. Omaha Black Mesa ships. Coal mines, which are collected twice as fast as coin from other mines. I sort of do wonder about the how much is in those coal mines. I'm not so sure. Also send, oh, actually it also sends in 5 gunslingers, pistoleros. And Apache Scouts, ships 8 Apache Cavalry, which goes in stealth. And so stealth cavalry? Huh. Apache Warrior Society status to active. So that means if you get native MC, you get some more other effects like that, or that's just the research makes them get stealth. Polskowski Legion ships a number of powerful Ulans, enable them to be trained at forts. And of course got heavy cannons, and the Kolvats Legion ship a number of powerful Magyar Hussars, enable them to be trained at forts instead of ordinary Hussars. So you get advanced Hussars at forts. Huh. Interesting. And he has, of course, selected Plymouth Settlement and Boston Tea Party, so he went for Massachusetts. Ships 300 food, 1 native scout, all existing towns have spawned 3 pilgrims. I guess the pilgrims are a variation of villagers. And Boston Tea Party, rise fast, deposit 350 gold, and exchange all of your current food for 25% more coin. Huh. I think coal mines somewhere the same as Swedish copper veins, so 1,000, 2,000 coin. Could be more. Anything more than that would probably be a bit overpowered, honestly. Statehood just got researched. And so let's take a look at the British cards. The United States have a lot of unique cards, that's for sure. As well as Mexico. Got now the Hussars trying to advance around, trying to find engagement on these US villagers. Of course, got some meese here. Clearly the best way to say plural moose. After all, moose don't actually have a plural form. But somehow goose and geese does. I love the English language, it makes no sense. Villagers, wood, gold, longbow, musketeers, scout guard, grenadiers, and musketeers get increased damage. Cavalry hit points, fencing school, and 2 caravels. Caravels could be actually useful on this map. Got another Minutemen not being deployed on the field. I was always getting some good damage on those villagers. Not sure how many went down. We also got some veteran sharpshooters engaging. The skirmisher they do less damage versus these hussars. Let's force them back. And let's see, more villagers. Coin, longbowmen, yeomen. Yeomen inflict more damage versus heavy and gains more range. Increase their range by 4. Musketeers, Coldstream guards, grenadiers and musketeers, and attack and hit points increase by 15. Hussars, falconets, refrigeration, and frigate. Here's the thing as well. Going for the caravels wouldn't be half bad. After all, they do act as fishing ships as well. And they can protect themselves. So you could get out some fishing, get caravels out. You want a couple very hard to kill fishing boats. I wonder if they collect the same rate. I don't know if they collect the same rate. Longbowmen, rockets, factory. Also, expansive forward as well. Try and get some more damage here. There's the Prospector. So it does have 2,000 coin inside that gold. And not gold, coal. Villagers starting going down. Got the musketeers here. Got carbine cavalry, which are anti-heavy. They're dragoon variant. Minutemen firing away. Some Minutemen receiving some fire there. We have a Gatling gun here. You get a good number of Gatling guns. Both the US player has advanced to the Fortress Age. And he has selected, looks like Kentucky, the 15th state of the United States. And, oh wait, you can get more coal. That's where he got his coal wagons, so he can get more coal. So you can get just 1 coal wagon. There's 2 here, so you can get up to 3 coal wagons. Also some owl hoots, and which also includes some sharpshooters. The moose is the plural of moose. Yep, I still prefer meese. After all, it goes along with geese.
What is your command?
I've never seen a whole lot of videos of where people try and explain all the weird ways how English makes no sense when you compare a bunch of words. Where it's like, I can't think off the top of my head. British H4 car that changed longbowmen over to the range makes so that rifle units can replace the longbowmen inherits all the upgrades. Oh, yeah, that could be very powerful. Being +4 range as well as maintain the relatively cheap cost of wood and food. Would be pretty good. got some longbowmen here. Longbowmen do cost 60-40, more expensive than crossbows. Right now they have 222 range, and we do know that there's a card we could get that give them 4 more range in Yeoman Research. So that could be pretty good range. Yeah, the longbowman's head could be very good in series. More fire over there. We also get a bit of fire over here. As I was mentioning before, does find some of the owl hoots. The copper does get collected up twice as quickly, which also means the US player has a good spike to his income. Just don't mind the black lung disease. Barracks does go down, which also does mean no more barracks for the British to produce out more musketeers or longbows. He does have artillery foundry here, so maybe it's going some grenadiers wouldn't be half bad. His opponent does have a large number of veteran sharpshooters and some Swiss pikemen. The Swiss pikemen are a pretty good mercenary unit he got out for engage these hussars. Also nice to get a good hit there on the Gatling gun. Gatling gun's 3-4. Does find a good volley there on the falconet, but of course didn't hit any of the longbows. And the falconets are severely wounded. Looks like the Gatling guns have gone down. Carbine cavalry trying to push the falconets. Both falconets have gone down. Sharpshooters receive quite a bit of damage. Sharpshooters, of course, a light unit. Owl Hoots are a outlaw unit. Light infantry as well. Musketeers, of course, are heavy infantry. Skirmishers will do most damage versus them. Our Hoots are a skirmisher variant as well, an outlaw skirmisher. Now the carbine cavalry is falling back. Much of the cards of French revolutionaries. I know it's one thing that's sort of intriguing to me about the Mexicans is cows. I think livestock are underutilized in this game. Looks like the British explorers trying to deploy out town center here. The US player deployed out cover wagon here. There's manors everywhere for the British, which says every time he deploys out a manor, he gets an extra villager. Let's get a good volley on the Dravetin Dragoons. Skirmishers, of course, good versus Dragoons. Trying to throw some torches here. Dragoons siege damage is 10, so it's pathetically bad. Got a couple of blockhouse wagons there, so he's gone for the Russian military company. Trying to torch down this town center. The sharpshooters can get some good damage there. Sharpshooters right now have 23 range. They do match the range of longbows. Blockhouse are counted as like an outpost, so they do have an auto attack. 45 damage, so it's not a bad damage as well. Carbine cavalries receive damage there. Dragoons engaging it in melee. The blockhouses should be able to protect the town center and vice versa. You could perhaps bring in some militia as well, call in some Minutemen. I think the livestock are underutilized in multiplayer. Long story short, the base collection rate of, I looked it up, like the base collection rate of collecting up wildlife is like 0.75, maybe like 0.8 something. The collection rate of livestock is 2. Of course, it is an investment. You have to spend food to get food, but it could potentially give you quite a bit of good food. The Iroquois have a unique upgrade, which allows, called Fulling Mills, allows them to collect livestock up 300% faster. So it makes their base collection rate of livestock 8, which is the same collection rate as crates. So you don't harvest livestock, you unpack them. Yep, Hacienda's livestock, that's one reason why I'm half interested in the Mexicans for their possibility of doing some cow-based stuff for the Haciendas. Haciendas are expensive, they're like 600 wood.
What is your command?
But of course, it allows them to produce, get some powerful benefits from it, that's for sure.
I'm ready.
Structures push a bit forward. We got a big investment of Guard Ulan shipment just popped out, takes out the Falconet. And Musketeers do bonus damage in melee against these Ulan heavy cannon, but the Longbowmen, not so much.
I am sorry, Grieve. I may not steer it.
Falconet does go down, Sharpshooters engaging away.
Ja, Auftrag.
Uhlans pushing forward. They're trying to overrun the falconet. In fact, haven't hit the longbow. Wouldn't be half bad as well. Musketeers trying to engage in melee, but they're not doing all too great. Carbine cavalry and sharpness are just engaging at range. Longbowmen do go into the carbine cavalry, but not versus the Uhlans. And now all the falconets have gone down. Sharpshooters and longbowmen are at relatively equal footing.
What is your
Sharpshooters do 18 damage, 22 range. The longbowmen do 19 damage, 22 range. 115 health versus 115 health. 40% damage resist. Range damage versus 30. So they're very, very similar, longbowmen and
What is your command?
sharpshooters.
Steer.
The thing as well, when it comes to cows work at the haciendas, they do work not as much as villagers. So sure, they can be free, but they also don't provide as much. Artillery foundry now has been pulled out here. He may be eyeing for something there, maybe some more Gatling guns. Sharpshooters engaged in longbowmen. That's how the blockhouse here for fire support as well. Counts being repaired on up. There's about 7 sharpshooters remain, and there's 18 longbowmen. Does get a mass shipment here of Minutemen and sharpshooters, so you mix those two together with the call-in as well as some sort of shipment. Probably this shipment here. Got some hussars being put on field, which would be a good counter to the longbowmen. More longbowmen being put on field. Minutemen are not classified as light nor heavy, so they only receive regular damage from the longbowmen. And he's actually putting too many torches there onto this manor. That is not good micro there, and sharpshooters siege damage is not good. I think it's a little bit less than half. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. I think it was like more close to like 25%. Oh. And looks like the US player may have backed the game. I can see the hussars eating some of those villagers, and there's too many longbowmen to fight out. So looks like it'll be the end of the replay. This is Andgrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I probably have time for one more game. Been really enjoying a lot of Age of Empires 3 stuff. Oops, again, wrong button. There we go. That one's probably one already done. Did I already do this one? I think I may have did this one yesterday. Actually, I don't think I've done this one. Let me just pause it and take a look. Yep, I did this one yesterday. My bad. Gotta delete that one. I think that was the last replay I did that day. Let's do this one here. Now I'm getting a whole string of US games, looks like. Which I'm fine with. Greetings everyone, and great here of another Age of Empires 3 replay. It's on the north side as the blue-blooded Americans. We have come here. Definitely not a US name. It's on the bottom right side as the red Iroquois. We have Alistar Peter. Now let's see what natives on the map. We do have the Cheyenne settlement, which has given the Cheyenne Rider a Cheyenne horseman armed with spear, good with cavalry. It's actually a bit more of a unique unit. Well, most of the time, heavy cab do not do bonus damage versus other cab. And over here, we do have the Cree, which does give him access to the Cree tracker and the career day bonus, which does mean you can get access in feudal age to some additional villagers, French-style villagers. I think they're limited to 5, so if you get both of them, you get 10. And now we got a shipment available for the US player who's immediately gone for a trading post here. We've got a fast trading post. Now we've got the Chinese immigrants being selected on in. Let's take a look at his deck. It does have the Irish immigrants. Irish immigrants deliver 2 villagers and 2 additional settlers for every 5 minutes has passed, up to a maximum of 30 minutes. Maximum of 30 minutes, so just every 5 minutes passed, 30, so 6 times 2. So that would be 12, potentially 14 villages you get for this if you hold off long enough. And the German immigrants. German immigrants settle in Germantown which, oh wait, I thought that was supposed to be Dutch. No, yeah, it was Pennsylvania Dutch, or actually the Germans, because Deutschland is the Dutch, is the, not Dutch word. Wait, what the hell? There's a spaceman. There's a skin to make the Explorer spaceman. I have not seen that. Okay. Okay. Okay, where was I? Pennsylvania Dutch are actually Germans because Deutschland is a German word for Germany.
准备好了。
Got a trading post rickshaw here. And of course, we got Chinese immigrants. Delivers 1 trading post rickshaw, enables the level ability to be used in trading posts, which also accrues trading posts to recruit them from trading posts, and also allow trading posts to recruit more trading post rickshaws for free. Trading them costs increase hit points also increase. Oh yeah, that was a cheat. So they made that into an explorer skin. Interesting. Can cosplay as a centurion. The Russian explorer can be a bear. Oh, well, let's go and cover the rest of these cards. We got wood. We do have regulars, state militia, long rifles, native treaties, advanced homesteading, ships 2 homestead wagons, which can be turned to mills, estates, or I think also livestock pens. Let's see, and have more line sight and support 10 population. Interesting. But it looks like it doesn't affect livestock pens on this variation. In Hamilton Economics, market technologies are free, refund the cost of the already researched ones, improved market buy rates. And Virginia State Assembly gives them 1 free capital wagon, gives them 1 free advanced research. And available in 2nd age. And ships 10 small black ship bowmen which can go into stealth. I never gotten a full Irish card in PvP game, only in PvE. Yeah. That's one way to find out. It's one of those things that's really late. It's maybe a good one you could get again when you go to Imperial Age, potentially. When you get your cards refreshed, or many of them, not all of them. Got a Russian-American company, got a whole bunch of wood, got regulars, United States Army, Continental Rangers, rolling artillery, Apache Scouts, and Puskaw's Legion. In which there's actually no Age 4 cards, so you may not be eyeing to go to Age 4. Or if go really late. Maybe a revolt. Wait. I just realized something. If the United States get a revolt, would it become the Confederate States of America? Would there be Shade's Rebellion? What else other revolt possibility there is? We now got these
Yes.
Canyon horsemen now engaging these villagers. And we'll take a look at the airport cards soon. And he's going to go straight for Explorer. Just get a nice little bit of XP there. We got a summer wagon from the Germans. Let's get inside there.
Okay.
He could go for some militia. Before I can take a look at what cards he got from his age up. Going for the advanced homesteading. And looks like the horsemen are following him back. He went for the Delaware. Okay, so he gets a ship's additional regular for each ship you have so far in this game. So this doesn't add to every single shipment, just simply gives them regular for each shipment he's sent. Okay, so he's going. The US player is going for mass EXP deck. Ships 6 semi-fattened cows and 2 homestead wagons. So get more cows. I love cows. I want to get my own cow eventually once I get my own home. And also go to the Iroquois cards as his horsemen start advancing on forward. Let's go for some Anna archers. There's a homestead wagons. He is designed to plow a pair of mills. He's going for a heavy amount of mills. Interesting. Maybe it's still a good idea to go for wildlife. Wildlife does provide better food than mills, especially at this point in the game. Got also a longhouse here, as well as a bandit rifleman. There may have been treasure there giving a Travis or some sort of wagon to get out a longhouse there, because I'm not sure why he would deploy that. Why there would be one there.
Oh no.
Archer's now advancing forward, trying to engage these villagers. He does ban inside. One of US players eyeing for the fertile lowlands. The Explorer goes down once again. Does have a shipment available. Eric's not playing on anything. I'm not sure what he's doing. His militia on cooldown. I have no idea what he's doing. He does get a ship settler wagons on the other side to collect up the cords of wood. Tavo. Okay, so they're called Tavos. Got it. Bravo. Bravo. Yeah, however you pronounce it. I'm horrible pronouncing things. You should know this by now. Doesn't have a revolt age up. Oh, okay. Maybe because they want to avoid the whole Confederate States question. I think I'd just say Shays Rebellion. Some other things like something like that as well.
Orders?
I do have. Why is there so many mills? What the?
It'll take more than that to keep me down. Attention.
Okay, got some unique voice lines there, but he does go and immediately harvest up the cows. He doesn't want to hold on to them. Why is there so many mills? Am I stupid and wondering why he's pulling out so many mills? We got some regular supply on the field, which is good. He needs something gauged in Anna's, but they are anti-heavy, and regulars are the musketeers, so they are heavy. World Age turns here in the Mormons as desert or dessert. Let's get out some more of the state militia here. Mills make settler wagons. Are they true? He's already the max limit of them, but I'm not sure. Okay, you got the Oolongs on being plotted field. You may want to go for things other than mills at the moment. We do have now the Ennas getting hit by the Hussars. Hussars exactly needs to get back to the game. They are, of course, a counter to them. Now we've got some Tomahawks. They need to go into melee against these Hussars. But right now, a little bit poor micro there by the Tomahawks. Tomahawks are now engaged in melee against the Hussars. Now we've got the Explorer back up and going. He is focused down these Tomahawks. They are heavy infantry, which he doesn't have any sharpshooters. Oh, State Militia do bonus damage. Oh yeah, State Militia are not. I'm thinking getting to mix up the regulars. State Militia are unique skirmisher. They have more hit points but less damage. So they're like an inverse skirmisher. The skirmisher is supposed to be damage output, but
I'm ready.
State Militia are like skirmisher but tanky.
Aufgabe.
Does destroy out the trade post there, which does provide a bit of trickle of EXP. He still has all 3 of his trading posts alive. I didn't. There's a lot of skins I don't know in the game. It's the first time I ever saw the Spaceman, that's for sure. They're definitely fun. They're good, and also, to be honest, a good way for companies to. I'm fine if companies sell cosmetic skins as a form of extra income. We got some little Shark Tooth, which are Bowman variant, which are basically Skirmisher variant, Archaic Skirmisher. Tomahawks are boozy bonus damage from Bowman, since they are custom to heavy infantry. We got some regulars mixed on in as well. But still, there's a good number of archers on the field, which will do some good work. No bonus damage though, except for these regulars. I haven't even took a look at the Iroquois deck. Let's just quickly cover that. Okay, we've quickly covered it. I'm just interested in the fight now. True, EA is not a good example of microtransactions. Though to be fair, I think EA has a bit more of hot water for the Unity shenanigans.
I'm ready.
Tomahawks in Anna's archers falling back. Got some Hussars falling field. Tomahawks need to gauge them in melee. And he's not giving Hussars enough support.
Hello.
Villagers start going down. Another shipment available for the US player. Some regulars going down, but the Hussars now engaging the Annas. Minutemen have been pulled on out once again. Gains good damage there on these Tomahawks. They don't do equal damage versus them. Explorer's about to go down here. The regulars being picked on off. Tomahawks. For certain standards, villagers backing off into the town center. We have now Seminole Scouts going for another round of Seminole, which do cost wood. Not sure how much cost wood they cost. Oops. The Explorer could be brought up relatively soon as well. I think exact health they need to get back on up. More Hussars there, very good. This player right now has 33 villagers. The Iroquois have 31, and a good number of them are, of course, settler wagons. So they are better than regular villagers. This trading post will go down. I suppose it's possible, but right now they're in front rather than behind. Maybe you should deploy them up front if you want them to be as a way to draw some extra fire. US players have 43 population, the Iroquois has 62, so he's definitely lacking population. Well, I could send to get some more Hussars in the field. And the Explorer does go down once again.
Yes?
I'm half tempted to... He should probably could have named the Explorer rather than Washington. He could have named it Agent Washington.
Hello?
I miss the old Red vs. Blue.
Yes?
Now he's going to collect up some of his elf. And some big forest puppers. Seminole, it's not straightforward. They need to focus on these tomahawks. If they take out the tomahawks, and the cavalry can come out. He did a good job of focusing on the cavalry onto the tomahawks. Very good. These Hussars could have pushed been deployed right there. Now it's going to engage. There's actually still a couple more tomahawks over here, intercepting the Hussars. A couple tomahawks still remain. And now let's get more reinforcing tomahawks there, so the Hussars will go down. Now I've got the Irish immigrants being brought on in, which will, nope, does get cancelled. Going for the Delaware Blues, gaining 10 regulars, which will be very useful, though they will still be countered by the Ennas. I love it. That's probably a pretty good example of the first episode there. I'm going to go inside the town center. There's not enough room for a settler wagon. He's a little bit over. Does get inside the town center now. Does get his max out 90. There's the regulars there. Does bring out the villagers. The villagers are being brought on in the fight. Settler wagons do have not good day range damage themselves. They do have good health to work with. Regulars now getting focused down by the Ennas. We got some more of the regulars being pulled out over here, including some of the archers and the Minutemen. Those have been brought back inside the town center. I think it lost a good number of them, though. This place on the 30 villagers. Opponent has 37. I think he thought his opponent was going for an Eco Boom, but he did not. And right now, going for his Eco Boom sort of backfired, knocking out enough military forces. Those are engaging. He does, of course, have... No, he does not have the French immigrants for increased health and damage. I see which he would have gone for the French immigrants.
Hello? Orders?
What is your command?
Yes?
Yes. What is your command?
Looks like the Iroquois has fallen back a little bit, trying to torch down some more of these raid posts. The US player
It'll take more than that to keep me down.
does have an Explorer back up and going. I can definitely hear him. See, against these Ennas, it's still a good idea to go for cavalry. They're light combat, or light infantry, so going for more Hussars would be good. He still has to deal with all the Tomahawks, though. If he's able to age up, he would be able to pull out some Falconets, which would really hurt them. Just, oh yeah, you're just so used to hearing other
Orders?
countries, you don't realize what they're saying in the other countries.
Hello.
Yes? Lumberjack.
Lumberjack. That's not really a... Now you understand how it feels to other countries here. Their language is being spoke. Lumberjack.
Lumberjack. Orders. Hunter.
Hunter. It's just basically not even verbs. They could have done verbs, but they did nouns. Because say hunting, chopping,
I'm ready.
things of that sort, but nope.
Hello.
Oh, just realized something as well. They're sharing this pronghorn.
Yes.
What is your command?
Now he's going for the Archangel Grants, able to get out, let's see, 2, 3, 3, so 8 villagers? Not bad. Lose some villagers here, does lose a settler wagon. The US players just had not really good loot order. His one applied aggression, which was very successful.
I'm ready.
Not even Monty Python joke. You know, I've actually never read it and watching it by Monty Pythons. This coin deposit is now fully consumed, or 6 coin left, so almost fully consumed. That's going to bop down some more of the horse and arrow of his regulars.
Yeah, what is...
I'm wounded. At your ready.
House now receiving a bit of fire there. It's not looking good for the US players. He's been in the back foot this entire game. This Iroquois player has been doing very well. But now the US player does have some Hussars, does find some of these villagers, and we'll go ahead and pick them off. Does manage to get inside the ward hut, however. Oh yeah, the monster truck.
Yes. What is your command?
You know, got a pair of proxy war huts being put on field to go along with this proxy war hut. So he's just going to go on down. Tomahawks are here in good force to force back those Hussars. The rest of that coin has been claimed. They had 6 gold remaining. And we did not the regulars from pulling on out. And the regulars are simply not a good item. They're a skirmisher variant, so they receive bonus damage from these archers.
What is your command?
What is your command?
Another shipment can be brought on in. Hussars now advancing on in. And there's actually only one tomahawk here, it's 2 for defense. Horseman does draw a bit of fire there. Hussars right now could go ahead and clean up these archers. Exodus, yep, there's only one tomahawk and does go down there. So let's the US player does find a good opportunity to get back in the game. Quite a bit of water left being cleaned up by the Iroquois there, and there's still this herd down here for eventually to claim up. If this area just gets overrun, these villagers just head down south, migrate down south. Let's see. Iroquois. Let's see what cards he has that has not deployed out in the field. The Iroquois has deployed out every single card in H2. He's deployed out every single card in H2. Going some more archers now. I suppose I was wrong. State Militia are a skirmisher variant, which they're not meant to be. They're not exactly supposed to be great units. They're supposed to be more like just a trash unit for the U.S. Alternative to the Archer, which honestly they basically are, with not very good range compared to archers. If you compare these to the Enna archers, see here the 13 damage, 13 range. Over here there is our 15 damage, 16 range. Similar bonus damage pattern, but the state regulars do have less bonus damage. And right now, less health. The base health is, these guys are 110, these guys are 115. The max health is increasing? gains additional hit points in groups, so they're meant to be mass produced, so they're like a horde unit as well. So plus 9 health, that's not a whole lot. In comparison to Anna Archers, these guys of course do cost 50, 40. Anna Archers just cost 100 food. They'll literally just cost 100 food, which makes them pretty unique in that aspect. Those are starting to stabilize. Iroquois is going to age up, that's why he's not being aggressive. The US player has 41 villagers, opponent has 43, so the Irish immigrants were very useful to even out the villager disparity. But still, right now, the Iroquois is getting out a good number of forces, has 73 military units versus opponents' 76 total population. Of course, with the age up, there could be great possibilities. Muscle Riders are probably not going to be good versus State Militia. Tomahawks, not so much. Force Prowlers would be a reasonable unit. Be skirmishers versus skirmishers, and will be able to do bonus damage versus the regulars, so Force Prowlers is probably a good idea. Those took some good hits there. Of course, when you get to the next age of Light Cannon. We got a pretty big resource split for the Iroquois. You may be eyeing for a big wave of Forest Prowlers. You know how the Elite Tomahawks going for a handful of Forest Prowlers, queued them up. Maybe I can shift click them later. These villagers are a little bit exposed. The US Hussars can go ahead and engage. Oh, I hear some fire. So that longhouse up there. Villagers not getting hit by these Hussars. And here a big engagement right there. So of course got a good number of regulars. Push way forward. And Archers are going to send in. Force Prowlers do have 24 damage, so they're pretty healthy or pretty damaging. Now got the Hussars now engaging. He does not have enough Tomahawks in this region. There's a couple of Tomahawks there. Blue infantry start hitting those Tomahawks first. This is where micro is important. Engage the threat to your primary counter unit. We got another trading post for a shot here. Does get gunned down by the Forest Prowlers. Those Blue's infantry does get forced back, so the additional production here from the Forest Prowlers. Oh, we got. Wait, there's also the community plaza there to plant some of these warriors. Warriors, of course, are militia for the Iroquois and for the Aztecs, and also I believe as well for the Sioux. We do have some native Cheyenne riders here, which are anti-cavalry cavalry. And now got the war chief now claimed by the war dance. The community plaza dance. These warriors have this degraded down to 1 health. Oh, they have some sort of gray effect there when they're down to 1 health. I wonder what that means. Forest Plaza will definitely be a good counter to these regulars, being a musketeer type, heavy infantry. And so being pretty effective versus the Cheyenne Riders. The militia advancing forward, of course they are a relatively cheap skirmisher. So some of these Cree trackers here as well. Grain Post does provide a bit of EXP as well. US player right now, not eyeing the next age. Needs a lot more food for it. It does get a good number of villagers exposed, and most of the US player does back out, losing these villagers. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. That drum beat of choosing nostalgic granny section sounds from AoE 1. Ah, nice. By the way, that's going to be my last replay tonight, so everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest. Enjoy.